Are we recording? Looks like it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Resender, and you are watching today. Not today. You are watching an episode of To the End, a series where I, Resender, in FTB Feed the Beast, so Minecraft modded, in the FTB Monster mod pack with 1 or 2 mods added, try and live in the end. Well, currently I'm not in the end. I'm not even close to getting to the end, because I'm collecting resources for what's going to be End Station 2, my home. So, a few things to talk about for those who saw the last episode. I have a new let's start over again. I have a new Manilium hammer, which I had to make in creative. So what happened basically after I installed Witchery, I had some problems, like problems with these disappearing. I think it's a bug in MFR that gets more pronounced with the introduction of Witchery. I know how to solve it, just logging out and logging in from the save again. There's also this chunk, just above the portal 2, from the Deep Dark to the Overworld, got reset, destroying everything over there. So the quarry, the battery, the ender generator, the void chest, the ender chest. So I had to go back in creative. I went back in creative and replaced all of that. Other problem, what happened then is that I accidentally put my Manilium hammer in the destroy item or part instead of destroying cobblestone. So I created a new hammer. It's basically the same one I had before, but of course fully repaired again. But yeah, an insane efficiency on it, because I had an efficiency 5 book. Okay, let's see, monsters. It's pretty much zombie and creeper time. Let's return to the overworld. Okay, we're back in the overworld. We need to do a few chest tests first. Okay, let's go downstairs. Oh, that's normal. That's I thought it was a glitch. No, it was just an illusion, an optical illusion. Okay, everything looks fine here. Okay, I ran out of power, which is not a good thing. So let's talk about what I wanted to talk about. Yesterday I actually recorded this. I talked about this, and after I done the recording, I noticed, hey, where's the file? Apparently no file was created. Despite me having talked, despite the numbers of the story in the recording software I used having gone yellow, which means it's recording, there was no actual file. A bit of an annoyance. So, what did I talk about yesterday? Well, I talked about autism. For those who do not know, I'm autistic, or I'm suffering, or I'm afflicted with the autism the autism spectrum disorder. I was diagnosed with it between the age of a few months to the age of 4. Not really sure. It's very hard to track. So I was diagnosed in the early 1980s. For most of you, that will be the ancient past. For me, I pretty much well remember that. So, yeah, why am I telling this? So earlier this week, Lion Batman, which I follow on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch, had a nervous breakdown, and he talked about it, and he says that autistic persons do have emotions and that he normally could avoid these things. Despite being autistic myself, I never had a nervous breakdown, and that has to do with more or less how my life went. So how did my life went as an autistic person? Well, let me first talk about what is autism. What is the autism spectrum disorder? Well, the autism spectrum disorder is a series of social behaviors. Well, that's not a good word. It's a lot of disorders in the brain or something to do that primarily affect reasoning, social interaction, and in my case, motor skills and abstraction. I have, for instance, I can't do abstract things, so don't ask me to do an IQ test, because my brain can't actually handle the questions. But in the 1980s, autism wasn't really that well known. It was like treated like, well, it was treated like how it was treated the same way the active disorder syndrome, or let me look it up, because I had looked it up yesterday what it was, and now I don't. Okay, ADHD, the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is a disability where people have short attention spans and hyperactivity combined, and some other cases. It looks very similar to autism, that isn't the same case. So, what it was, well, when I was diagnosed, my parents were told that I would need therapy and medication. I would need therapy for a variety of things, more likely for motor skills, talking and writing, because my handwriting was really, really bad, because I don't have motor skills as well. Like, currently I can't use the two outmost fingers, like the pinky and the other one. I can't really use them actively. Can't type blind, despite being an IT guy. So, therapy. So I went bi-weekly to a therapist, for a psychiatrist or psychologist, for support, talk about my weeks, talk about my life, blah, 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 blah. I went then from age 6 until age 14, I went 3 times a week to this center where they would learn and teach me fine motor skills, improve my handwriting, learn social interaction and such. Not much public speaking, that would be handy. I hate creepers. You die, please. Like, I really like this place because it does give a lot of resources, but why does every hostile mob spawn here despite the fact that everything is lit up? You were dead already. And it's a shame. Oh wait, I have food on me. Okay, so I went 3 times a week to a center to learn everything, to catch up with my fellow people. Elementary was horrible, like, basically because of the treatment I got, and I had a very mature attitude towards children, towards the rest of my class, so I was an outcast. Well, at first, like, I was also the only boy in my class that was more comfortable with the girls than with the boys. Like, when we look at children in elementary, boys and girls, ooh, girls have cooties, don't let me. I wasn't like that. I was more comfortable with the girls. Unfortunately, when puberty kicked in, that changed entirely. I got completely different. But that brings up another question, not another question, another subject. Because from the age of 6 or even 5 until the age of 16, I took a medication called Relatin in Dutch. Well, Relatin is the brand name. And Relatin is a mental phenidate, which is a psychostimulant which is prescribed to ADHD patients. It's also prescribed. It's also called the study drugs because it improves concentration. It has a lot of side effects, which I'm now realizing that I'm actually had a lot of those side effects, and they might actually explain a few things now. But what else does Relatin? Well, it suppresses emotions. So basically, when I took it, I was almost as emotionless as a Vulcan. And when I stopped taking it, well, for the first few months, I had literally no control over my emotions, and they raged pretty hard. So imagine going through puberty within a day or within a few weeks. Within a few weeks, going through 6, 7 years of puberty. Now that was fun. So I stopped taking the medication, and yeah, there it stopped. Well, now I've got a job at the moment, but I only got it because I've got finally recognized as an autistic person, and that brings to another problem. We don't, because of our social interaction problems, we have difficulty sometimes to not only find a job, but hold on to it, because we can poorly interact with colleagues. Not at the moment. Most of my colleagues I worked with always agree that I'm a very good person to work with, because I know a lot of things and I can fake a lot of good social interaction. That's another curse of my autism, is you can't tell from me that I've got autism. I've adapted to it pretty well. But then again, it took years of prep work. And I'm running around like a chicken without a head, because I'm actually talking and looking at everything that needs to be checked. Come here, you. So yeah, currently I have a job, although I'm not really enjoying it anymore, because it's very stressful. I'm still going to a psychiatrist like every 2 months now. And for the rest, life is decent. But will it ever be normal? Well, normal is a term that doesn't exist, because everyone is different. But for me, normal would be... What's that block? I have no idea what that block is. I have no idea why. Thank you. Sandstone, cobblestone. You going there, because I don't need you. You can get filtered into that void chest that's over there. Okay, so to make things short, like as an artist, and there's different kinds of artists, you feel kind of isolated because you can't really understand social interaction. Then for me, my problem is I can fake social interaction because I've trained for it a lot. My problem is my brain can't translate abstractions into real examples. That makes theoretical physics and such impossible. I mean, give me a practical problem, no problem. That can I solve. Give me something theoretically, and it completely freezes. Another thing is, we sometimes can't deal very well with stress, because we tend to build up more stress than usual. And because we can't really express emotions well, that can lead to problems. In my case, because I lost control over my emotions, I have violent mood swings. So I can be happy at times and then completely angry a few moments later. Well, not most of the time, but it can happen. So, why am I talking about this? Well, Lying in Batman had a nervous breakdown. He talked like sometimes people consider artists to be, and it's storming outside. in the Minecraft world consider people with autism to be robots, that we don't have emotions. We have emotions, and they can be exceptionally stronger than normal people, but we can't really express them, so we usually don't. And for those unlucky, that leads to meltdowns. Now, a lot has changed between me and lying, actually between the 80s and the 90s. Autism became more known. They figured out well, actually they still don't know really what causes it, because I have, in my life, and I'm now 31, I've heard like 4 or 5 different explanations to what is the cause of autism. And it went from brain damage to something happening at birth to genetics, although it's still probably the most likely cause, to smoking or drinking of the mother during the pregnancy. Like, I've heard everything except for a very definitive answer from what causes autism. Like, it's being linked by someone to, if your mother is already in her late 30s, the chances are higher. Now, why did I talk about autism? Here we come again, I repeat a sentence. Well, first Lying talked about it because he had a mental breakdown. And yeah, I'm going to make a prediction. Like, at the end of the century, either autism is going to be repairable before birth, or the majority of the human population will be autistic. And I'm very skeptical before repairing it, because there's already a few studies suggesting how to cure autism. But you have to remember that for me and Lying and other autistic persons, autism is not a disease. It's more like, this is who we are. This is part of us. This has basically molded our way of thinking, our entire lives. This is part of our individuality. Or, well, yeah. So, if you cured autism, you would basically be killing the person that is autistic. You would be killing this personality. Curing it before somebody got born, so, or before the conscious would really form, so in the first few years, that I wouldn't really have a problem with. Would I love to have no autism at all? Yes, but then again, no, because that would mean my life would have been completely different. And I had some very good experiences in my life, some very bad, but on the most part, I'm happy with how my life went. So, yeah, I hope this has been informative and not some rambling on from me. Okay, I knew I saw a zombie pigman. Where is he? Okay, but let's end the episode here. Like, not more is going to happen in a few more minutes. We're still struggling to get materials. We're nearly at 10,000 metal, or iron I should say, and that's still 6,000 away from what we need to be. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.